Another 50. Why? I can't even order shoes. You seen the state of my shoes before? Why you spend some money on fucking nuclear bombs that are just gonna sit in a cupboard for years? I had this argument with my girlfriend the other day, not about nukes, but about fucking mugs. Same thing. Why is it, you've already got 100 mugs. Why do you need 15 more mugs? You know what I mean? Am I just a fucking mug? Am I just being...
Welcome, Adam Hughes.
Yeah, nice having you, lads. Nice being here.
369 podcast, episode 1. So there's going to be a sort of a mystical, spiritual element and hopefully an intellectual element to this podcast. So
Good luck. I'm a bit of an knobhead, lads. So
yeah, well,
we have to figure it out as we go along, lads. So
I kind of like the idea of the first man being Adam, like biblical.
yeah, so, you know, Hughesy, lads. Hughes and abused. First episode, lads.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, we'll have a laugh, lads. We'll have a laugh. And worst comes worst, it all goes put in the bin.
We'll just delete everything and forget.
Worst comes worst, you paid me 60 quid for me train, I've had tails. And then, we'll have a... Yeah, it'll be good, I hope.
I'm interested in how funny you are. I think that'll be really good. But now that you like, for all of your self-detriment, I think that you work really hard at Common. Seems like you do.
Yeah, man. I've done it for 10 years. I've gigged all over the country.
Since you were 36.
Yeah, I'm 28 now. Straight away, you know what I mean? The first thing we do is go, oh, let's call the fucking smackhead olds. I remember that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, straight
First time I saw you.
Oh, here we go. In
2019 it was.
Oh, what a...
Yeah, it was my first gig at Hot Water. And I'm getting ready to go up and this dude on stage. And I thought, like, here's a guy in his late 30s, massive beard, and he's taken his shirt off and he's kind of walking around the stage with, that's kind of what it was like. And I thought, he's having a midlife crisis. You know,
midlife.
he's got a wife and 3 teenage sons, and he's having a breakdown, and this is sort of like it's manifesting. And I think I found out afterward when I met you that you're 19 years old.
Yeah, I was 22, I think then.
All right.
I was early 20s. But either way, saying that I looked like a middle-aged 38-year-old with a wife and 2 kids that I had very young as well. So you're saying that I was having kids at 17. And no, I'm not fucking straight away. You'll be dead respectful with the other guests, you know what I mean? I'll speak to you, the fucking lens. You'll be dead respectful. He tells a story about how he thought that I was a 40-year-old having an eye breakdown.
I am going to be very respectful to
Oh, yes. Everyone else but me, straight away, the first thing he does, oh, yeah, do you remember that time I met you? And you look dead old. And you had your top off, and you had really old skin.
I didn't take you out top off.
I know I did, because I was 22, and I was vibrant and cool and young, but it turns out, no, that wasn't the aesthetic that I had. It was just, no, there's a smackhead having a mental breakdown on the stage of a local comedy club. Thank you very much, Pete.
I think it's called Bin Dipper Chic.
Bin Dipper Chic. Yeah, I've still got that now. Look at me. Look at my eyes. I'm 28. Look at them.
Dead inside.
Fucking dead. There's nothing behind there. You know what was horrible, lad? I got my eyes tested about 3 years ago. And I walked into the opticians, as you do. Walked into Specsavers, walked in. They were like, oh, do you need an eye test? Or I was like, of course. I walked in. And the fella, you know, the opticianist or optometrist, I don't know, the fucking... the fucking eye guy.
Eye bloke.
So, yeah, that's something like that. So I sat in a chair. And he goes, okay, so I'm going to zoom in so I can see behind your eyes. And I went from, there's nothing but pain behind there. And I forgot that he was like a proper professional. This fella shot himself, thinking that I had eye cancer. So he was there going, what's behind the eye? I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry, mate. I forgot that you've got like a PhD and all that to stare into me soul. I was joking. I was just saying that I'm riddled with depression, which obviously,
as a rule, taking anything that you say seriously is not advised.
Well, it isn't advised, but I was just thought I'd get a giggle. If anything, he took it up with some concern, and my poor eyes, man. He probably went dead close, man, and he did find a little bit of pain behind the eye. Turns out I needed glasses and couldn't see. So, yeah, it was all right, actually. I ended up with these, like...
I have never seen you with glasses on.
Because I lose them.
Okay.
That's the issue. So every time I get a pair of glasses, bro, what happens is I go the boozer. I whack my glasses on. I can see the boozer. I can scour the boozer with my 20/20 vision. Newly found to me £15. NHS supplied gigs. And then what happens is I get bored and I take my glasses off like that. And then I go home, innit? Never to be seen again. But the worst thing is I probably need the glasses to fucking find them.
That's true. Bollocks. It's catch-22. Maybe contacts. There's contacts that you can put in and leave them for a month. And you don't have to change them. No maintenance necessary.
This might be a worthwhile investment.
I've needed glasses for ever. And I just put these in like 30 days later, I just change them.
That's not bad. But what happens if you leave them in like forever?
They kind of just commit suicide. So if you leave them in for too long, you just start to feel them and then they just bounce out your eyes.
Really?
Yeah, that's technology right there.
Projectile contact.
Through lenses, wake up and I can't see anymore. Oh yeah, my contact lenses have committed.
You're just sat in a boozer, someone's doing your head in, you just focus really hard, boom, and just like,
What happened once is I drove to work and I had a really bad day. I'm like, I feel like I've got a concussion. It felt like eye cancer. And I realised that one of my contact lenses had jumped out. I'd driven to work and spent all day at work with one eye and not even noticed because it just becomes a little bit blurry. If you just got,
yeah, it's just like, what?
yeah.
But if you drove your entire life,
Mm.
you could probably, it's like driving pissed,
I switch off. Yeah.
I guess. So if you're driving pissed, just a bit blurry, innit?
Don't do that.
Well, I can't drive. I literally can't drive. I tried to, obviously with comedy, you've got to like learn to drive.
Yeah.
Like, because the issue with standing up and getting to gigs is travelling. So it's very helpful if you have a car, because you can go Johnny today, Bradford tomorrow. That's just I'm going to Bradford later and I'm in Johnny now. But I can go to Sheffield.
Yeah.
Apparently just Yorkshire. But you can travel all over the country in a car. So about during lockdown, I started with driving lessons. Thing is, I was an alcoholic. So I go on a night out, off me shots.
Yeah.
Oh, what a even. You know what I mean? I don't do drugs, but I drink. So I was having this heavy night out, and I'd come home at 5 in the morning, vomit everywhere.
Yeah.
Get a shower, get in my car, start driving. No wonder I didn't pass my test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you think it's held you back?
Not being able to drive.
Yeah.
No, I think it's my personality that's held me back dramatically.
I mean, in theory, it'd actually help you on your way because you've got to associate yourself with other people to get by, right?
No, exactly. So, like, if you drive, you can drive people around the country. So that helps. You're just in a little car and you go, "Oh, do you want a lift, lad?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, I'll go wherever you go." So you just drive. And it is help if it's all. But the reason, so you're asking why I've been held back in comedy?
No, I wonder if it's actually been a setback not driving. Or
Well, it certainly has, because obviously having a car, it opens up the world. It's at your own leisure, it's at your own convenience. If I was driving today, I'd have been here a lot quicker than if I got public transport. It would have been a lot cheaper than if I got public transport.
yeah.
So it opens up the world. Driving from here to Bradford would be 45 minutes on the way home, but now I've got to go via Leeds. So it just adds, you know, like
Yeah.
a little bit more freedom. You can pick and choose your gigs. And also the gigs like that are in like countryside areas, because the issue with the UK is small.
Yeah.
But the majority of the UK is not viable on public transport. Even like quite big towns don't have like big train stations. So it's like 4 or 5 hours.
I saw Kevin Bridges in Buxton. And he's
Exactly.
the right arsehole to get to.
Buxton, innit? It's just, all that is a spring water fucking fountain with a town built around it, innit?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's all it is. And to get, so who other than the people of Buxton need to get to Buxton?
But if you put on a show in Buxton, it's like, shit, something's happening. Let's just all go. Get good attendance. I think people are a little bit spoiled in cities, maybe.
Yeah,
If you work your arse off to put on an amazing show, you know, take it or leave it.
Who's asked?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, like if I had a show tonight, Liverpool, there's a show at the Echo Reader. Hot water exists, so there's that.
Yeah.
Laughter House is still a good club of a weekend. So you're competing with 2 to 3 clubs. Whereas if you do it in a field with a farming community in a fucking gazebo, you can sell all the tickets to the farming community because they can get pissed and not have to drive.
Well, I've put on 2 charity nights with you.
Yeah,
Yes, really good nights, and
they were fun, like.
yeah, and every ticket sold out. And I remember I saw Gervais for like 30 quid.
Yeah,
The tickets for these charity nights were 30 quid, and they all sold. It was like 100 and something tickets. So yeah, I get it. I think
in Sprotborough, wasn't it?
Sprotborough, yeah,
Yeah, I remember. I've been to Sprotborough
twice.
twice, yeah.
Twice.
3 times maybe next year, who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, I would like to keep it up. We've just done a different fundraiser actually. We did a road race.
A road race?
A road race, so running like 6 kilometers, 6K.
So they paid to do a fucking...
They paid, yeah, and there was a party as well. Like,
that's a level of rich which I hope to never get to, where I have to pay. I know it's for charity,
yeah,
but where I have to pay to go on a fucking run. I can't run. I'm a fat asthmatic. You know what I mean? They have to pay me to run.
I think people from all over Doncaster, in fact, I think people from well outside of Doncaster came to attend as well. I think it's about, you want to put your name on an event.
Yeah.
You just want to say, I've done this, I've done that marathon, I've done that half marathon, I've done this road race, because it's been going for a long time and we'll just take it over.
So it's like health and well-being as well. It's good for you. But quite frankly, the only reason I like going to an event is because you have pork pies usually in the buffet. I'd rather eat
I think we did put on a decent spread, yeah.
It was a decent spread, like.
I was away for the actual thing, but I think I was at a wedding, but yeah, it went really well, and it raised a hell of a lot of money as well. So we raised a few grand from our comedy nights that we did, but this blew that out of the water in terms of...
what's the point in comedy anymore? Just go for a jog, fuck the art, and go for a jog and get everyone to give you a 5. Fuck it now.
So you've been at this 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And when I mentioned a car, you almost kind of proactively went, do you think that's been holding you back? Or am I asking you, has it been holding you back? I don't think you are held back. I think you're in a very similar situation to hundreds of other people who've kind of had this calling for comedy, and they've not really been able to find a way to get by or grow financially from it.
Yeah, so, well, there's multiple things. So, like, I've had opportunities to do well in stand-up. I've been given multiple opportunities. And then, because I drink quite a bit, I tend to fuck up the opportunities. So, I've ran shows in over 30 venues now.
Yeah.
And the reason that it's 30 venues is because I can't maintain a venue. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll piss someone off, or I'll have an argument with someone, or I'll drink too much and you'll go, you've drank too much, get out your bars.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Or the venue shuts down because I've chose the wrong venue.
Loads of venues are shutting down.
So there's multiple facets. But even like, that's from a promoter side. From like a comedian side, again, I've been given tons of opportunities, and it's just, at the end of the day, I don't think I've got it in me to be professional all the time. I can't.
Like, you're still a young man, right?
Well, I'm 20. There's a point in time when you're no longer young. Your body starts decaying at 25.
Okay.
All right. And your brain is fully formed at 25 as a male. So if I'm 28 years old and I'm blaming my position in life on the fact I'm young, that's a load of bollocks.
Where are you getting your numbers from that you think that you should be further along at 28? Like, what makes you think that? I know there's some breakthrough people who get onto TV.
I'm not even talking comedically. I'm just saying, like, in my life, I don't think I can use the excuse of being young anymore at the age of 20. You're an adult. I had a mortgage at 24.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I had a mortgage at 24. That's a fucking adult thing to do.
Very adult.
I had children at 21. That's an adult thing to do. So eventually you'd think, oh yeah, he's got his head screws on that. And then what happens? You fucking end up homeless again because you piss it up the wall because you think life's fun. If I start using being young as an excuse, it's just lying, innit? It's going, I'll be young forever. It's like a Peter Pan syndrome. It's like, I want to be this kid.
Well,
So I live
there's a good amount of that in the arts, man.
I know, but there's a good enough in the art. But I'm in an art form that's not even funded by the Drama fucking Art Society, by the government. Technically not an art, according to the government. What I do is get drunk and chat shit and somehow get paid for it. I wouldn't call it art. I wouldn't go as far to say comedy is an art form. It can be. There's people who do it to that degree where I could say it could be labelled as an art. What I do is not art. The amount of comedians out there who are not artists.
Do you think any are? Is there any that you look at them and you think, well, that's beautifully put together, like it's...
Yeah, but they're usually fucking rich. And the reason is because they're good enough to be rich. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a skill. It's a oratorship. It's talking. And like, I chill with poets in Liverpool. Like, I do chill in like a little artistic community and knobheads, yeah. And I'll sit there and the poets, they are considered art. Even if the poems are shite. You know what I mean? Like, the amount of poetry like, it turns up to
like beat poetry and stuff.
not even that way. It'll just be a woman talking about fucking the Palestine conflict. Like she has a clue what's going on. Do you know what I mean? She watched news at 10 and thought, oh, this is going in my notebook. And then she'll write something like, oh, the people of Palestine. All I do is fucking whine. I don't know where, but they just rhyme shit. Yeah, they'll rhyme things. You know what I mean? You write a fucking, oh, I'm not a podcasting dogcaster. And then he'll rhyme caster with fucking pasta, and then he'll do a story, we're getting raped by a priest. And then by the end of it, everyone's going, that was marvellous. That was fucking it's not marvellous. You just got stoned and wrote shit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not art either. You know what I mean? There's got to be a degree of success for something to become an art.
I've got a thought. Your observations when you get like semi-serious for a minute are pretty accurate, I think. I think they're pretty spot on.
Yeah,
You've got a good idea of like deeper issues of people, and you're right. There's a lot of issues. I've got Muslim friends, I've got Jewish friends, right? And
oh, here we go.
no, I'm not. What I'm saying is, I am in no way, shape, or form qualified to get involved in any of that because I don't know what the fuck's going on. I see what's on the news.
I can see a perspective given to me by a corporation funded by people who I don't know.
Yeah.
So if all I listen to is some fucking rich cunt's agenda, I don't have a clue what that means. If I go on Twitter or X, that's a load of bollocks as well. You know what I mean? I love everyone. Why can't we just all be happy? Why the fuck are the governments of fucking people? Why are they killing kids, man? I understand why having kids, but no, like in general, just to be serious. Why the fuck is the knobheads writing poetry about wars that you don't have a clue about and getting fucking applause for it? Write a fucking joke, tell a story, make someone smile.
I think that it's about virtue signaling. It's about showing everybody you're more virtuous, and that's been going on for a long time, right?
The world, fuck off.
12:35, there's some priest walking around the town telling everyone that he's more virtuous than they are because he's devoted to God and they're not, and he's going to heaven and they're going to hell. Social media is just another version of that.
All it's done is blow up everyone's pay, but also in echo chambers. So like I've got probably 2,500 friends on Facebook. I follow about maybe 1,800 people on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're people either I've grew up with or met through comedy. That's pretty much everyone I follow.
Yeah.
The arts is a largely left, left-leaning group of people. That's the art. So if the majority of my Facebook are left-leaning people in regards to any topic, that's what I view. That's all I can see. And then I'm getting influenced, not by the news or even by intelligent discourse during, you know, like political debate or conversation.
Mm.
I'm getting influenced by knobheads who in school couldn't afford a sausage butty at break time. Do you know what I mean? Shut the fuck up. Talk about your fucking... But then again, I'd rather them talk about politics than talk about how much they loved the kids and how good the knowledge was. You know what I mean? It's slightly less self-centered bullshit, but either way, it's bollocks.
I think a lot of people go through life not getting praise or approval. And if you could just stand up and say, free Palestine, without any context, any awareness of what that actually means, from the river to the sea, you know, or I don't fully understand what that means.
Yeah, man.
And I'm not going to claim to, but I do know that there are people on both sides, British people, Jewish people, and Muslims, who it affects them deeply, whatever's going on over there. And I've never been over there. I've never looked
And I never would.
at that, you know? So I know that there's been attacks on both sides. Death to Israel is a figure of speech in various parts of that, you know, that area in the world. That's all I know. And I think that the only way you can really achieve peace, from my perspective, is for both of those people to stop being just screaming at each other and being reinforced by white people who are agreeing with them on both sides. I see someone who's a Jewish person or an Israeli, and loads of people are agreeing with them. And I see the same thing if it's, you know, a Muslim or, you know, somebody who might have come from that part of the world, and loads of people agreeing with them. And I'll block anybody who doesn't agree with me. That should be illegal. You should legally not be able to
Free
block.
speech is a very important part of Western society. I can't believe how serious this podcast got.
But we might coil it all out. You can have a look.
Yeah, most likely. Jesus Christ. But it's a very serious part. Like, free speech is important. Because then you're either going to end up living in a dystopic society where everyone's fucking chatting shit about nonsense and it's all irrelevant. Everyone's right and wrong. Fuck it. It's a load of shit. What we need to do is have a pint and a chat and smile. See?
I actually think communication is probably the key, yeah. I mean, I think that...
And it's also the problem, because we've got access to communication technology that we've never been able to comprehend. I can send a message from Liverpool to you in Doncaster saying that I'm going to be here in 3 hours. That shouldn't exist.
It also didn't happen. You were here in 7 hours.
Oh, 7 hours.
I was here in 3 hours.
When you were here, I was in bed. I'd done the school run. Actually, could be a good segue, this.
Yeah.
I'd done the school run, and then I came home, and I was fucking knackered. The cat needed food, so I fucking fed the cat, and then the cat was meowing at me, meow, wanting a fucking cuddle. I was like, Sam Polly, named Polly, because she's named after a fucking, you know, like shitty weed. It's named after that. Not that I smoke, it's me fucking bird.
Who named the cat?
Probably me bird.
Okay.
Fat fucking bell end of it. So you won't see this. So I was lying to, and if he does, fucking, why is he watching me, the weird twat? You know what I mean? Either way, fuck off. So I fucking I got on the couch with the cat, and she started to purr, and like the heat of the cat and like the breeze from the windsor sent me into a lovely sensual slumber, and I just lay there. And then I woke up when my alarm went off for 12 o'clock because I thought I'd fallen asleep. And I went, shit. And then I immediately ran upstairs, had a shower. Fucking brilliant. Had a poo after the shower, so I had to get another shower because I ran out of toilet paper.
Jesus Christ.
So I had to use me fucking shower head as a BJ. I was like fucking bent over, shoving the shower heads up my arse. I was like, ah, you know what I mean? Rushing down. Fucking got me clothes on after my second shower. Dried myself first, you know what I mean? That's important. There was a towel involved. And then after that, I ran straight down the stairs, whacked my shoes on, made sure I had my house key. Went to the bus stop, realised I had no money. Fucking hell, skins. Run all the way back to the house, get the jar full of pennies, tip it out, got £2 and 10p for the bus. Run back to the bus stop, got on the 79 with 19 10p's. I didn't have enough 10p's. Fucking nightmare. Tried to pay him with my house key. He went, oh, just get on, lad. And at that point, I felt awful. I felt like I should kill myself because I couldn't afford to get on a bus. to get the train to Doncaster. So then I phoned my bird and I was like, have you got a tenner? She sent me 12 quid, what a hero. And then I went and got a fucking meal deal, £6.50. Now I'm skin. So if you're wondering why I'm late, the world's just shit, lads.
I accept your apology.
I don't think I said sorry one. So I was just excusing my error.
I heard it's expensive to be poor. Like you will pay more for everything. You will have a more expensive existence per thing that you do if you don't have a lot of money. Terry Pratchett wrote something along those lines about a pair of shoes. Where, you know, you buy a shite pair of shoes and you replace them all the time. But, you know, if you've got a good pair because they cost more, then, you know, they'll last longer.
That's not even the case anymore, though. If you buy a cheap pair of shoes now, they're probably made in the same Vietnamese factory as you would a pair of Nike shoes, do you know what I mean? And even then, they're still trainees, they fall apart after a year. So I understand that concept when it comes to like boots or like leather or, you know, properly cobbled shoes, handmade. Like, they'll last for a long time. But either way, we've seen the state of the, I'm going to show the world these, lads. I've had these for 4 years. There's now going to be a smell emanating from them. These are Adidas, whatever, the shite. There's poo on the bottom of the shoe. Usually this should be glued.
I'm so glad I bought those 4K cameras.
Look at this. Look at all the hairs, man. So I've had these for 4 years. Being poor is a mentality, but being smelly is a way of life.
You're rich in spirit.
Oh, they are. They fucking pong. You smell them. Woo! No, but like on the comments about shoes, I haven't bought new shoes.
Just hit me.
Yeah.
Oh, that got me. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's fine, man. Think you fucking blue balls, you tit. So I've had them for 4 years. Have I been able to afford trainees in the meantime? Yeah. But because I'm refusing to spend 120 quid on a pair of shoes. So what I do, everything I own, and my town's or charity shop. Brilliant. This top, Abercrombie and Fitch, free. My dad got fat. Got it. These jeans, free. My dad got fat. It's amazing. All you need is a dad with diabetes, fluctuates in weight, and you never have to buy clothes again. But the only issue is, he's a size 8 and I'm a size 9. Otherwise, you wouldn't let us smell that.
Oh, because Cole smelled it. Well, the reason I got onto serious matters was because I think that you have a serious side to you, and I think that you have been applying yourself as a comedian.
I do have a serious. I do, because I do think. You know what I mean? I do think. And I do create opinions. But now just at the public arguments.
Well, it sounds like you've got emotional control challenges. Like you kind of go off on a tangent.
I do. I've certainly got undiagnosed fucking neurodiversity, as everyone wants to label it. And I'm just a bit weird, lad. Just a little bit weird. I accept I'm a little bit weird. I accept that I have a drink and I like it. But I like to, I am a serious dude. I sit at home all day, every day watching
porn.
No, I'm actually very well sexed.
Okay.
Which is weird. I've had 3 long-term relationships, one after the other, bit bop bop. So I don't really need porn anymore. And my current girlfriend, she's dead good at it.
I can tell you're fond of her because you talk very highly of her.
Yes, she
called her a hero.
Yeah, she sent me a tenner. Yeah, to be fair, if anyone's says that, and
the girl comes along and sends you £15, that's it.
It was 12, so he had not even.
What I mean?
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah. That's me. Submitting.
When people come on one of your shows, so you organise nights, right? You organise comedy nights.
Yeah.
When people come on one of your nights, they will write stuff down. They'll practice it.
Oh, God,
I've written obsess about it.
Yeah.
And I think that you might not do that.
I don't.
So you don't have like a hard wired set.
Well, I do. I just know it.
You just know it.
I'm not turning up to a gig with a notepad
oh, sorry guys, I'm doing a bit of new stuff tonight. Haha.
I just read. No, that's not comedy.
Do you think you might be a little bit too talented? Is that possible? And what I mean by that is, if you've got to try hard, it's just a little bit more serious. There's
But
I've got some very, very clever people in this world who don't get where they want to go because they just don't have to try, and they could just achieve a good amount without trying too hard. Yeah. I've watched you with no prep and probably didn't prepare any of what you said, own a room, which is a good skill to have.
yeah,
But you, at the same time, it just feels too easy for you.
it is too easy for me. But that's like not being like arrogant, because I know I'm good.
No, I'm not blowing smoke at your ass. What I'm trying to say is,
If I actually focused and put my energy solely into it, I think the work would bore me. And it's not because I'm too talented to work hard. I just find, so like I went into comedy not to be a fucking professional comedian. Like, I know that's like,
well, did you even picture like where you want to go with it?
I didn't, I was too young. So like, I started comedy because I got expelled from college. All my mates were still in college. So they were like, they were like in school still, basically. So I had nothing to do. I'd go, oh, I just want to go and have a game of footy, or do you want to go to the pub, or whatever. And they'd be like, no, I'm revising for my exams. You know what I mean? So I got like, because I got expelled, I was like, I need something to do on my own. So I joined an improv class at 17. But obviously I looked older. I looked 36, what was I? And so I attended this improv class run by a girl called Emma Baird. And there's, I think her name's Jess, she's lovely. She's like girl from New Zealand. So they ran it. It was in the Magnet, which eventually became Hot Water, and now turning into something else. So
Is it actually?
Yeah. That's it. So Hot Water's moved to Blackstock. So I went there at 17, and I was doing improv, and I was all right at it. But I was, I was trying to be all edgy and stuff. So I was
A lot of successful comedians did years of improv.
yeah.
I gave it half an hour, and yes, and I'm fucking leaving.
It's a good skill, improv.
Is it just teaching you like being spontaneous?
Well, yeah, it's all it is. Spontaneity, fun, storytelling off the top of your head. So when I was doing it, I had a fucking great time. Done it for about 4 months, 5 months, but eventually they were going, you're trying too hard to be a prick. Like in like the scene. So like
As cypher.
So I'd like create. So they're doing like a scene about fucking buying a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Eventually, when I'm doing it, the girl it ends up fucking robbing the shop and lighting it on fire.
Yeah. Is that not good? Is that?
But apparently it's meant to be happy, and she.
Okay.
And so I'm there trying to make it all. But it was like a class. It was full of like old lady, anyone. And they just go, woo, let's have a laugh and a pint. Do you know what I mean? And so they went, you need to be more individualistic if you're pursuing comedy. Why don't you try stand-up? And I've always wanted to do it, but that's because I was a fan of the art form. Not that even though I said it wasn't an art form.
Yeah.
I was a fan of comedy as a kid. So then I started. So I was like, you know what, I'll do that. I got an open mic for a guy called John Wilson a week later at a gaff called 81 Renshaw Street. Just a tiny little cafe.
Still going?
It is, but it's changed its entire business practice. So now it's not a venue. It's it was a record store / cafe then. Now it's just a record store.
They still put on nights?
No, it's dead now. So they ran this gig, so I've done that. And I didn't really know what comedy was. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was a kid. Like,
you will have been doing bits probably all the way through growing up.
Yeah. So,
Class.
when I done it, I just got absolutely hammered to the stage fright. I think I had about. Because when I went, I was like, I need to have something to calm me down, but I need something to give me a little bit of energy before I go on. So I got a crate of 4 Stellas, a Red Bull, and then a cranberry juice. I don't know why. And I turned up to this gig, and I had, obviously, started with my beer, boom, get the stage fright. after that, I had a Red Bull. Turns out I'm on later on in the show because there was bigger comedians on the show that were trialing for Edinburgh, so they wanted to go on early so they could fuck off. Damn there, so I just go to the bar once. Hey, can you have another fucking pack of whatever? So I ended up on 12 pints. I get on stage and I haven't noticed a joke. Just haven't noticed. So I'm there shitting myself. It's only about fucking 12 in the room. And there was a fella called Derek. I used to call him Dementia Derek. He was really old. He was old then to the point he's probably dead now.
Okay.
But he was a good guy, nice fella. But he was with a group of older people as well. So I go on stage and I'm like, "What do? You don't loads of jokes. Talk to them. Fuck it." Start doing a bit of crowd work, and I was emphatically terrible. I went to this woman. What's your favourite TV show? She said, Emmerdale. And I said, why are you watching Emmerdale when you're going to be dead soon? There's nothing there. I said it to an old woman. And then after that, I went to another woman. What's your favourite TV show? She said, Coronation Street. And then I said to her, why are you wasting your time watching Coronation Street? You should concentrate on breathing. Because you're probably going to be dead soon.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How did this play? How did that?
I overran. I done 9.5 minutes on a 5 spot. And
So you got a response from the crowd?
it was like moral support. It was like the support that was provided was like an A-cup bra on a pair of saggy G tits.
I feel like this might have been a family intervention and they just told you it was a gig.
I wish it was. I wish my family actually attended my shows. And it was, well, I don't. They're not, they have. quite nice, but yeah, it was just a load of shit. The lineup was good. It was Adam Rowe, Trey Burnley, brilliant. John Bailey. It was John Bigby at the time. John Bailey now. There was a Scottish woman. There was a woman called Sarah. So yeah, I forgot who them two are. But the rest of them from that line was doing fairly well. Adam Rowe just have a word. He's smashing it really. Dawn's boss, she's really good comic. Chase, brilliant, sells out the loyal cause every month. So we're all doing all right off that gig. They were all like 4 years in. And now I just do this. I just go for a punt.
At this point now, and you've been around hundreds of different comics across the UK. So if I'm going to go watch a comedy show anywhere in the UK, I'll probably see someone at some point you've been on a lineup with.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So what's the difference between people who make it forward and don't? Is it that they do a safe level of comedy? Is they more professional, more reliable, or they've got a better network of friends? What's the magic thing for a comedian to do?
I don't think there is necessarily a magic thing that gets you from being.
Do you meet someone and think, fuck me, they're going to be famous?
No, they're not famous.
They're going to do well.
Fuck me, they're going to overtake me very quickly.
I thought you were going to say, fuck me, they're going to overdose.
No, that happens more than this.
Yeah.
There's more people in comedy that are probably going to die due to their own mental health. Possibly including me, who knows? Harry Dowser, I don't believe in it. But there's more people who are like out of the two things. But when it's more like, fuck me, you're going to do well if you progress at the same pace you are now. It's a longer sentence. There's no one you can go, you're going to be famous.
There's a Malcolm Hardy award, right? Is it the act most likely to make £1 million? Is that
something like that? Yeah.
And the people who've won that have generally gone on to do really fucking well.
Yeah, but that's probably due to industry consensus to the point that they get the award, so they've been plucked.
So you do think that there are signs then? So is it that in that case you have to basically conform to a certain specification?
Not necessarily. In terms of TV, I've obviously never done TV. I've never spoken to anyone on the telly. Runs telly. Supposed to people who've been on the telly. But in terms of the people who are going to make it to TV, obviously they have like diversity, equality quotas to meet, and that helps push you, but the main thing is being funny and original. So when I see someone who's funny and original, I literally will sit there and go, wow, you're going to be better than me in about a week. You know what I mean? That's the response I have personally. Because I obviously don't know their work ethic. So it's a combination between originality. I wouldn't say talent.
Yeah.
Because talent learned. Talent's just
Well, there's natural talent,
the
right?
natural talent, but without the work ethic to go alongside the talent, you're just going to be shite. Like, you can start off good for an open spot, but you're still shite in comparison to where your potential is. So you're still shite.
Are you like describing yourself a little bit now? Do you feel like maybe you could fit into that character? I think you're great. That's why I've invited you here.
Yeah.
I've invited you here as our first guest because I think that you're great.
Oh, thank you,
You're
dude.
not blowing smoke up your ass. I think that you're a great performer and you engage crowds of people in a way that, not many people do. So you've got talent, and I think that's natural talent.
Yeah.
But, and you know what? When it comes to your work ethic, you arrange an ungodly number of nights across the north of England anyway. I've seen. You're off to Bradford after this.
Yes,
So, but when you said that, you had that analysis.
I have worked hard, but I've worked hard in the wrong way.
Go on.
So for example, the acts that I was talking about in terms of their talent, who I think will do well, Charlie Ashton in Manchester, first time seeing him, blew me away, think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Faizan Shah, these are at open mic. Faizan Shah is now signed and has done weekend for Comedy Store. He's doing really well, brilliant act. And Charlie Ashton's doing really well in Manchester. One of my favourite acts to watch. Do you know what I mean? They're just two acts off the top of my head that are on the right path. They will make it, yeah. In terms of what I done when I started, so I basically started the wrong way. So most people will go, okay, so I'll do comedy clubs I'll do as many open mics as I can, then I'll move on.
A lot of people do that.
Then I'll move on to booked new material nights, and then when I'm at that level, I'll establish a new material night, learn how to compare. After that, what I'll do is I'll establish maybe a pro gig locally, and then I'll stop that. But whilst I'm doing that, I will apply outwardly to do middles, open spots. So it's like you start spiraling around your local area, you go out a little bit, then you get booked, then you want to learn another skill, so you do that. But then in the meantime, you're trying to climb the ladder. So you go from open mic, open spot, middle, then you'll do maybe pay deadline on small shows, you know what I mean, stuff like that, 30, 40 quid. You know what I mean? That's the traditional ladder. Eventually you'll go comedy club, you'll become a circuit, middle for money, then you'll be a circuit opener, circuit headliner, and then you'll go, right, an Edinburgh show, or you'll just do that for the rest of your life. There's a level. There's Edinburgh people who do all the festivals, and you can get.
Are there a lot of comedians in the UK that maybe the mainstream hasn't heard of or have got a really good career in comedy?
Yeah, lots.
So I can't really think of.
Absolutely loads.
In my head, they've either been on TV and are doing well, or they're not on TV yet and they're not doing well. But
No.
I've met, because some of the nights that we've put on, phenomenal comedians.
Just people who just never go on telly, but they're competent. They do the clubs, just a club comic. You go from venue to venue, you know, £300 a night. Boss. It's brilliant. You know what I mean? Someone need another job. If you go to telly doesn't pay that much. You know what I mean? It does, and TV nowadays doesn't it's not the launching pad that it used to. Like Paul Smith is obviously a Liverpool comic. He's been on the telly, but that was years ago before the fame, yeah? He went famous because Facebook, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Facebook and YouTube.
And that's spanning. There's Adam Rowe in Liverpool again. He got big because he's very good, as is Paul, but also it was online. They have Hot Water as a social media mechanism, pushing them out. Because it's just constant, because they're always there. But also he had his own show during lockdown. Him and Dan Nightingale ran the biggest podcast in the UK.
Yeah.
Patreon, I think.
Okay.
So that's just the method. The method changed to what I've done wrong. So instead of following the traditional route, I've went to chase quick money. So I've ended up running gigs in shithole pubs. So I've ran in 30 venues. So like the venues that you should turn down, I go, yeah, why not? 150 quid. So I've gigged everywhere, you know, like in terms of setting.
Yeah.
So I've gigged in, obviously, function rooms, social clubs, comedy clubs, but I've also gigged in a Sainsbury's staff room. No, like genuinely, I gigged in a Sainsbury's staff room, Walton Village. There was a Facebook post, some girl named Becky, she's lovely. She works for Sainsbury's in Walton Village. She posted on her personal Facebook, does anyone know any comedians? We're hosting a little event for the Christmas party. So all these big comedians go, da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, like they get tagged in. I just message her directly, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And she goes, how much? I go, 200 quid. Everyone else charging grands.
Yeah.
And I was 18, so I've undercut them, which is wrong. But then I'm thinking, gig at a party, brilliant. Worst comes worst, there's a stage.
Yeah.
Sends me the address. So I'm thinking, staff party, function room.
Yeah.
Sends me the address. Fucking Google map it, whatever. Fucking Sainsbury's, Walton Village, innit? I walk in, and I walk into this room. Well, the shop. I walk into the shop and I go to the cashier, notice the girl on the desk. I went to I'm a comedian, I'm here for the party. She goes, we're having a party. I went, is this a laugh? You're having a laugh like I've been booked.
Yeah.
Sainsbury's by this woman, Becky. She's like, we're having a party. I was like, possibly, we might be. I mean, yeah. Like, I'm here for a fucking booking. I went, get your manager. Turns out Becky's the manager. She went, oh, did you tell him we were having a party? I went, yeah, because I'm booked and I didn't know where to fucking go. She's like, oh, we have to go to the staff room and wait. It was a fucking private party for the staff. Surprise. Do you know what I mean? So I had to do an hour of stand-up as well. Half an hour of stand-up twice, because I very kindly booked Mike Carter, who's a Liverpool comic. Very funny. So we do 100 quid each. We got a roast dinner and a bottle of whiskey. That was our pay.
Just in the Sainsbury's staff room.
Yeah. So the first one, all the young staff came in. They were 16. By the way, my material at the time was a lot of dirty lawnmower puns.
Okay.
So
What's a lawnmower pun?
Puns about going to the lawnmower museum in Southport. So this basically starts off going, hello, my name's Adam. I've got a very profound interest in manual lawn mowing, to the point that I go to the lawnmower museum in Southport every weekend with my mates. In fact, we went yesterday. We turned up about 4:30, which some of you might think is cutting it fine, and then a dab. So like, that was the opening joke for this bit. The joke ends up with me licking one of the staff members of the lawnmower museum's arsehole.
Okay.
And I used the punch string job.
Jesus.
I came second in the Beat the Frog World Series during that. And it used to get laughs. And they probably thought it was autistic, just expressing a special interest. And I got all those mong claps. But probably need to beat that. No, sorry, I'm doing this. Them jokes, you know, like about women and strimming and about lawnmower museum.
A load of kids.
To like 18-year-old.
Okay, all right.
The staff members, so like they're all around it. And then after that, Mike does his little bit, and then they fuck off. Then the next staff for all the it was all the elderly ones. You know, like they had a combined age of 10,000 and 43. So only 16 of them.
Nice.
It was a joke, mate. I don't know, doing all change sex or lawnmower jokes, you know what I mean? I've done jokes about my granddad's dementia. Some of them were like, oh, you know, and still got paid. But they're gigs that you should turn down.
Do you not think those kind of experiences are formative? Like,
well, you could grow in that, but if you're doing more of those than proper circuit gigs, you're gonna develop a skill set which equips you only for cokeheads and henders.
I've done a gig on crates. It was just crates on the floor. I was stood on crates and I was talking, and I was like wobbling. It's rough out there. It really is.
The worst gig I've ever done. It's actually not the worst gig I've ever done.
Done one on a folding IKEA wallpaper table, something like that.
Yeah, I've done that. In lockdown, I stood on a park bench. We had no mic. It was in Kirby in Liverpool. We had a really good lineup. So we had like all these people dotted around, you know, like thingy with the centre bench was for fucking, you know, like us.
Yeah.
So I was standing on the park bench and I was just MCing.
Was it all like socially distanced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But adhering to the regulations, but somehow they could still throw a bottle at me head. Fucking, genuinely the worst gig I've ever done. Like scariest, I go scariest rather than the worst. That's on this gig. It was in a very rough area, Liverpool. It was in Norris Green. It was in the Broadway pub. It's at the Broadway pub. It's nuts. But it was a charity event. It was run by another comedian called, sorry, but itchy nose, not from cocaine, I've got hay fever. And so I was doing this gig. It was run by Dean Aldridge, he's since left comedy. He's a very nice guy. So it was a charity gig for the local amateur boxing club.
Yeah.
It was run by a boxer called Dirty Jerry Matthews, who, if you don't know him, he's won world champions. He won the world fucking championship.
He's a proper boxer.
Yeah. He got knocked out by what's his name from Hull? I think he's from Hull. Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell knocked out like towards the end of his career. So like he was fighting like quite high caliber. So it was his charity event. So all the comics we turn up. So it's like a proper social event. Like there's kids there. It's like face painting, all that, music on, fucking Buffy, nice spread, fucking bouncy house, fucking bouncy castle, just, you know, outside and all that. And so we get told our stage time's 8 o'clock. And obviously, due to licensing laws, kids have to get kicked out at 9 o'clock. So we change up, we're like, okay, there's kids here. So we go to Terry, what's happening then? He's like, just wait an hour, we'll do it at 9 when all the kids have left. So they're on chairs, set up. It'll be brilliant, all that. So we just go outside, people have a smoke and that. We come back in at 9:15 and we're like, okay, so getting ready to set up. Bouncy Castle's still up at this time, by the way. This kid's jumping and all that. And I go, by the way, Jerry, if the kids are still here, I can't do any jokes. Because I talk about sex, I talk about drugs, lawnmowers, talk about lawnmowers. And he goes, lads, I'm paying you to do your stuff. You're here as the adults entertain. You're here to entertain the mums and dads. You're not here to entertain the kids. So I want you to do your fucking jokes. But because he's a boxer, he'd knock me fucking teeth out. I can't fight me. I'm just a ball of fucking cholesterol and blubber. Not that I'm fat, it's just what I'm built of, lad. Gas, loads of me saying me. So I can't fight. So I was like, shitting myself a bit. So I was like, sounds like, dude, I'll wait 15 minutes. He goes, I'll try and get the kids out. Worst comes worst. The adults will sit in rows and they can still play.
Yeah.
So we go back outside for like a smoke or whatever, come back in. And he goes, are you ready? And I go, yeah, I'm ready. Ready to go on. I'm hosting. And he goes, remember, you're doing your jokes right behind the fucking curtain waiting to go on. Terry threw the mic, at least there was a microphone to be fair. He introduced me. His hosting compere, Adam Hughes, yeah. So I walk on, everyone's clapping, and I'm expecting to see, you know, the adults in those. Tis a bollocks. I had a front row, and I mean, like, well, the front row was like 3 rows back.
Yeah.
A fucking load of 9-year-olds, me, staring up at me on the stage like that. And I've been told by a boxer who will hold me to do my jokes about fucking drugs, sex, and lawnmowers, whatever. It was years after the lawnmower. So I do my opening joke, you know what I mean? And I go, oh, does anyone in here do cocaine? Thinking nothing of it, you know, thinking it'll just be silence, you know, like a battle through gig. Like they'll say nothing as if it's a rhetorical question. I can transition straight into my material about something else.
Yeah.
So does anyone in here do cocaine? This 9-year-old lad puts his hands up and he goes, I don't, but me dad sells it. Ruined the gig.
Oh, Jesus.
Me and the lads went out with the dad for 4 days. Brilliant. He was right. Very, he has a nose for it, that kid.
Do you come across situations, because you're around a lot of drunk people, a lot of different,
they're also around me when I'm done.
No, but what I mean is you just said you're a lover, not a fighter, I think is what you were trying to say. You thought yourself a big bundle of fat cholesterol, but you meant, I'm a lover. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks to the first time I saw you. Eh?
No one you thought was
Love it.
fucking cunt.
Oh, it was a joke. You are so sensitive, I swear.
I am, babe. You made me nipples like twisted.
Do you find yourself in situations where you think this is not a safe environment for me to be in?
Well, yeah. Yeah, but
I know a few comedians that get people waiting from outside if they,
yeah, about that. It's fine.
so no one's ever actually like fully gone for it.
I've had a glass through my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I was doing this shit. It was actually in a really posh bar. It was in Crosby in Liverpool, the old bank. Give you a little shout out. It's a lovely pub. It's changed ownership. So it was my mate. Well, it was a lad from school's birthday. I don't know whether I can call him a mate. We haven't seen him in 15 years, well, 10 years since this happened. I was on the stage, so he goes, "Oh, lads, you started comedy, haven't you?" I was like, "Yeah, you're going to try and get up and do 5 minutes." I was like, yeah, sure, man. So there's loads of guitarists. It's an open mic music night. Not really the venue stands up. They're playing on guitar, they're singing loads of songs, whatever. So eventually the singer who's hosting brings me up, but he lets them know, like he actually wasn't a prick and just brought me on to nothing. And it's, "Oh, by the way, a friend of ours from school, Adam, he's going to come on to 5 minutes of jokes. It's his birthday, he wants to see him to it. So if you can all just listen, while he's on, that'd be much appreciated." He's not a comedian, he's not going to get like fucking... So people just really quietly. So I got on the stage and there's this woman just pissed as a fast. Just gives you a bottle. Gives it for the fucking visual. And she's like, no, like one of them, just fucking leaning back, bladder, just swilling a fucking glass around like that.
I don't know how you do it. That feels like a rich person, the way that you were swilling that then. Like,
She might have been. So she started screaming at me. "Hey, you fella, will you sing some Van Morrison?" And I go to her, "No, the lad who's hosting's like, I'm a comedian, I'm here to do 5 minutes of jokes." Ditch 5 minutes of jokes, trying to bypass it. She goes, "Listen, mate, I'm only here to listen to Van Morrison. I want to listen to that one. And it goes, la 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 la." And I went, "Can you just shut the fuck up, please, love? Like, I'm just trying to do my jokes." And I'm like, "Getting mildly angry." She goes, "What did you say to me?" And I went, "Told you to shut the fuck up because I'm trying to, do some comedy." And she stood up with a fucking bottle. It's glass, strong one. She stood up with the glass and she went, "You're lucky my son's not here because I know and you know what he'll be doing." And I went, "Yeah, he'd be telling you to shut the fuck up as well." Brilliant heckle put down. And this glass just fucking, whoa, pinged off me fucking head. Boom.
you got you.
No, she missed the touchdown. But I thought it'd be better for the story, for the clip.
Like Neo from the Matrix, she got out of the way. So, venues. Ooh, I've tried to organize things before with quite large venues and, places of all different sizes. And obviously they've got a business to run.
Yeah.
But do you think there's a responsibility, maybe if you're wanting to, keep your business going and keep a healthy, I don't know, a healthy supply of talent, then do you think maybe the venues have got a role to play, and are they playing that role from your point of view? Everyone from a pub owner to a big venue, do you think that they're on average helping or hurting, or is...
I don't think anyone's helping or hindering anything. I think it's just businesses that combine. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And obviously every business has an agenda. So if you're running a gig as a promoter, you want to get a good deal out the pub. The pub then want to get a good deal out of you.
Yeah.
So you've got to balance everything out. And as a performer, I think venues are doing everything they can to help the performers. So if I've got a meeting with venues that I work for, I'll ask them what they're willing to pay.
Yeah.
And they actually want me to go first in the negotiation. But if I know what they're willing to pay, I can package something for them within that budget. The issue with some venues is they don't understand that the word promoter doesn't actually mean you're promoting. So I don't promote gigs, I book gigs.
Yeah.
So I have to change the word, because then the venue expect me to do all the legwork to bring the punters in. The best place to advertise a venue as a pub gig is in the pub.
Yeah.
And around the area of the pub.
Yeah.
So you put posters up in the toilets. The best place to see what's happening is above a urinal. You know what I mean? You have comedy night, Ask Angela, quiz night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as long as you've got like your little Ask Angela one in the middle, it's in every pub. Good thing. And people see it. You know, if I know what Ask Angela is, that's because I've seen it in the cock of my hand having a piss.
I think on the occasion that people do that, I don't think the staff know what the fuck's going on.
No.
So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think staff needs to go to the toilet more often. But
Then maybe they've been putting it in the urinals, but not in the ladies.
yeah.
So I don't. There's a load of blokes asking. But
Was Angela in? No, love, she said Tuesday. But I don't think so. Like, and it's obviously that's smaller venues. Bigger venues, I think they can be held, in terms of comedy, can be held responsible for maybe blocking progression of some act. But that's within their right. It's their business, and they employ a lot more people.
I guess from my point of view, I think you're quite well qualified to work this out or help you work this out. What's missing? Because in theory, the UK is a leader in a lot of ways in, well, you don't think it's an art form, but in the arts. So, you know, movies, TV, when we make something in the UK, Clarkson's Farm is
Excellent.
massive all over the world, right? So people want the kind of content that our people can come up with.
Yeah.
Like, so we've got a load of talented people. They're working really hard. They're playing all, you know, every opportunity they can get, they're taking it.
Yeah.
And it feels to me like there is something missing inside this whole infrastructure, which is maybe blocking talent. I think whatever it is, I also think it's happening in America as well.
I think the issue is there's too many people wanting to do a thing. Because there's only so many people that can break through a door. If there's 100 people trying to get through that door, one or two will go through, and then there'll be 5 or 6 stuck.
You must have seen somebody who is phenomenal, amazing, and they've walked away. You must have seen that multiple occasions.
Yeah, but there's usually reasons, and it's not often career progression. It's usually personal reasons away from stand-up. Like, there's people who just hit a wall in terms of their own material. So, like, there's people who are brilliant, but they can't write anything as good. So they'll fall off, they'll drop a level. There's people who rise too quickly, and then they hit a wall, which is they're just not actually good enough for the spot they're in. And then that lowers the self-esteem. They go, what's the fucking point? Because I've done all this work yet to get to here. Why would you drop down back here to go to here? But that's the journey.
Sometimes you go backwards to go forwards.
Yeah. Oh, the third time I've heard that's like,
go on.
Oh, fucking hell. I was on the train before, and this fella was fucking from Warrington. And I went, you defo like rugby, you. And he went, I love rugby. And I was like, I don't get rugby, lads. Please go, why? Best sport in the world, rugby. And I don't get it, lads. And he was like, why? What don't you get? It's men running. And I went, yeah, but they're running forwards. But to run forward, you want to throw the ball backwards. And he was like, oh, what would you do instead? Just throw the ball whatever you want. To free the game up. Do you know what I mean? Because to me, rugby, the rules sound like they were bitten by an inbred from Wigan.
It's a posh sport, right? Originally.
It's both posh and scummy.
Because you had to have a bit of free time and... Yeah. I guess football might be, but now football's always been like a working class thing.
Football started off as an amateur sport, and then they started to allow professionals. I think the first professional played for Blackburn, somewhere like that. was no, but because they used to just, so like the working class clubs, they'd just be like a factory. So the fellas would be like running the mill, and then having a game of footy for the weekend, and they'd like arrange games, but eventually they started paying people better wages, you know, like from other teams. And that's where the football pretty much stemmed. There's a series on Netflix about it. It's quite good.
So
That I heard.
this podcast is called the 369,
Oh yeah.
and basically it's kind of associated with a quote from Nikola Tesla, which is, if you understood the importance of 3, 6, and 9 and numerology, you would understand the meaning of, you understand the secrets of the universe, something like that. So there's a spiritual, pseudo-scientific element to this.
Oh, is there?
And I want to take deep thinkers from across, the world, actually, but, people who think very deeply about things like you do. And I want to know,
So right.
in your 28/36 years of existence, well, have you ever had any thoughts about, like, what the meaning of it all is? Like, why are you here? Why do things happen the way that they do?
Can't believe been asked the meaning of life. To me, there is no meaning. I think it's all irrelevant bollocks.
What happened? So if the universe is 14,000 million years old, right? So is this like the only little moment in time that you exist? Is that what you think? Just this little, that's never existed before.
Well, it depends on your definition of existence.
Well, you exist, right?
Well, do we? I'm in a room in Doncaster.
Yeah.
I'm not a philosopher. I'm not going to sit there and go, so is this a table? If I exist, I must exist. It's everyone needs. I don't have a clue. To me, I've read the Quran, I've read the Bible, I've read the Torah, I've read the Talmud. And I thought,
And you've got no thoughts on spirituality whatsoever.
and I thought every single one of them was a load of bollocks.
Okay.
I thought they had some good teachings. Love thy neighbour as thyself. Good one. That's a belter one. Because that's just be nice to people, innit? You know what I mean? So the meaning of life is the moment that you are this blip in this 14 billion, whatever the fuck.
It's a year. Well, apparently it's 14 billion.
No, in this amount of years. So the 14.5 billion years, we're only alive for, if we're lucky, 70 years. I mean, we've got friends who we both know who died before the age of 30 recently.
Yeah.
So if you fucking look, I could leave, on the way to Bradford, I could fucking die. Hopefully, so I don't have to go to Bradford. But this blip is important to us. So we've got to enjoy it. But there's no meaning behind enjoyment.
When you said you read all those books, what drove you to do that? Did you have these questions?
No. So essentially, I was a bit of a prick when I was young.
I don't know.
Well, it's a different type of prick. So I used to just be, I'd say I was a cunt, now I'm a prick.
You were intellectually curious.
So the reason I read those books is essentially because I wanted to learn about people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was young at one point, in me 36, 28 years, whatever I am. And when I was young, I used to not know about religion. I used to not know about race, creed. I used to not know about any of that. And every now and then, like you'd have a thought, and you'd go, that's probably bollocks to think that. So I was like, if I learn about history and culture of different peoples, I'll learn about the world, and then I'll be able to have a more informed opinion on masses. So in trying to do that, I just learned that Americans are a load of bellends. That's literally the only thing.
I never know where you're going.
That's the only thing I've learned about history, the British and the Americans are a load of bellends. Because the war going on, there's wars all over the world, whatever.
Yeah.
The most dangerous part of the world to probably be is Djibouti.
Djibouti's in
Africa, next to Eritrea, Somalia.
Okay, cool.
So Djibouti has the highest concentration of military bases from other nationalities in the world.
Mm.
That is directly on the Al-Mandab Strait. The Al-Mandab Strait is it's like a little, similar to the Suez Canal. It's like it's a little passage to the Mediterranean between like Saudi Arabia.
Like port and
Yeah.
okay.
So it's a proper like river lake thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a strait of water. It's connected from a sea to a sea.
It's like just been made to transit goods.
Yeah. I think it's natural, but
Okay.
that's like where all the shipping containers go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they go through there, and then you've got the Houthi rebels on one side going blowing up, and then you've got like Saudi Arabia. All I don't think any of that would have happened if they just stopped having loads of American, Chinese, Russian, British, French bases just staring at them, ready to fucking invade the Middle East.
Well, I think part of the blame's got to be then there's all these superpowers in all corners. So
It's just a load of real politics.
Mm.
Dead confusing. It's British Empire. The reason for the Israeli-Palestine war is because there's British mandate Palestine.
1948.
1948 was given to the Zionist movement because of the Balfour Agreement. The Balfour Agreement was this very fucking weird document where they were like, oh yeah, you can have it. They didn't fucking ask them, no, did they? You know what I mean? We had it anyway. It's like me stealing that bottle of water and then fucking you want it back and then giving it to Corey downstairs.
Well, I've just come back from Korea, and there's a beautiful example there. I mean, it's
The DMZ.
kind of heartbreaking, really, because it's a country just cut in half.
Yeah.
And again, it's the same thing. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the threat of these large superpowers against each other: Russia versus America versus China, there's Europe, and all these dynamic powers. So Korea's rough. I mean, there's the DMZ. Families literally split still. People who know, they know they're related to people north of the border, and they can't be with them. And
Yeah, because someone went, oh yeah, let's have a war. Well, it was probably then. It was a proxy war, wasn't it?
well, it was something very basically. I think there was an agreement after the war that communist-backed forces would occupy North Korea.
Yeah,
And family was chosen, and then South Korea was westernized, and it's South Korea's as I think as Western as it gets. Now, obviously, it's still Korea, but they're very heavily influenced, I think, by the West. So it replicates itself all over the world. What's happened has happened, and I think that what's going to make it worse is what you said about echo chambers. So if it's, for example, North Korea and South Korea started a war, and like half of our populations were influential in the West, right? If we're born into a Western culture, we've got a lot of influence because we communicate quite well on these things. So if we start, half of us go, I'm for North Korea because they're morally righteous, and I'm for South Korea because they're, then all we do, I think, is exacerbate those issues. So when people in the West, if someone in London, there's just constant protests about Palestine. And
same in Liverpool.
well, there's quite a few in Doncaster as well. And I don't know that any of those people involved in those protests have actually got any information about what's going on there.
Some of the direct source. There's clearly shit going on.
Well, there's 18-year-olds in London saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And what that is a sort of a roundabout call for genocide against the Jewish people that are there. And regardless of what's happened before, you can't use what's happened before to say, well, because of what's happened before, we're now just going to permanently hate you, ostracize you, criticize you. Because in a way, these protesters are exacerbating this. Because if there's going to be peace, I think, over there, it has to come from the people that are influential, and everyone's being kept away from each other.
I don't think there can be peace with that particular conflict. I think the Zionist movement stemmed from well, it's been exacerbated for years and years and years. Zionist movement is not a Jewish movement. It's a movement within.
Well, Israel has a Muslim population, right? So it's not just
Yeah, but it's called Palestinian.
Oh, well,
I just think that when people go on the ground, I think they do it to sort of criticize everybody involved, but you start asking protesters questions about what they believe in, and you don't have to scratch the surface very hard to find out they don't really believe in anything. They just want to be seen on Instagram with the flag. They've got the watermelon in their bio and the Palestine flag, and from the river to the sea. And I think Jewish people in the West, it seems like I can imagine they would feel very vulnerable and marginalized. And I think it's got to be Jewish people around the world who are probably some of the main individuals who can influence a better outcome. Because a lot of Jewish people have ties back to Israel because they've got family there or they've been there. So if we could have a dialogue, then I wouldn't be inclined to try and help if every day I was walking around London or Liverpool and people worked out that I'm Jewish and then they just started insulting me, threatening me. Well, I've seen it. I've seen
it, Joe. You know, where there's people attacking people. But it's two ways, man. There's people in Israel, because the way that I've seen it, obviously, in my echo chamber, is Palestine is a little bit of the West Bank and a tiny bit of the Gaza Strip. Like, and they're saying that it's Hamas, man. But from what I've seen, it's like an Israeli sort of ran area anyway. Like, there's soldiers, you know, like, and the people of Palestine are genuinely getting genocided.
Yeah.
However, that is due to white people drawing fucking lines that don't exist and stopping peoples from being peoples. And of course, it should be all right for maybe a Zionist state, but maybe not where people already fucking live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got an house. Do you have a mortgage, lad? Yeah. Do you want me to move in, lad?
I mean, it'd be interesting. All right, let's say no.
Yeah. No. So what if I just turn up anyway? You know what I mean? Someone gives me a key, I let myself in. I'm in your bed.
In a world where people are talking about 1948, the majority of people are getting abuse or grief or insults or whatever it is.
We're born in indoors. Yeah.
So you're born into a world, you can't help being born into a world. And then I think it's more healthy to, number one, not put yourself in an echo chamber and shut people away. Like if they say something that you don't agree with, you close your mind to it, and then everybody just agrees with you.
You've got to open up, and there's got to be debate, and it's got to be like that. But the thing is, there's real people getting fucking shot and killed, and the only thing to stop people getting shot and killed is people not shooting and killing people. You fucking talk politics all you want, but if you've got a gun and I haven't, I'm gonna fucking die, aren't I? You know what I mean? If that's where the politics is, if there's an Israeli fella with a fucking rifle and I'm there, like a small little Palestinian boy, you know what I mean? And they just go, it's all over the world. They've got the Western power. They've got the money. They're the rich. They back up America's fucking elections. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to come across anti-Semitic or anti-even Zionist.
I think,
but at the end of the day, if there's a load of young people starving in a fucking queue waiting for food and you're dropping bombs on their head, you're a bit of a cunt. In the same way that if Hamas, a terrorist organisation by all accounts, is fucking murdering Israeli children, they're a bit of a cunt as well. So as a little message of peace, I think we should all just stop being cunts. Like, that's about it. Fucking, why do we have nukes? Oh, it's a nuclear deterrent. What if one person I don't give a shit if we have nukes or not. If someone's going to fire a nuke at me head, they fucking will anyway. How does that...
Well, we're getting a lot more of them. Well, I think we've ordered another 15.
Another 50? Why? I can't even order shoes. You've seen the state of my shoes before. Why are you spending some money on fucking nuclear bombs that are just going to sit in a cupboard for years? I had this argument with my girlfriend the other day, not about nukes, but about fucking mugs. Same thing. Why is it, you've already got 100 mugs. Why do you need 15 more mugs?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Am I just a fucking monk? Am I just the British government need to buy 15 more nuclear warheads? You the aiming them at? Fucking no one.
So there's still an arms race going on, really, isn't there?
Well, there's an arms race going on. Fucking very. And what's the point? An arms race. The only arms race I want. My right hand is in my left hand, so you can finish quicker. Fucking bollocks.
When you arrived today and I saw you downstairs,
Oh yeah.
you kind of came in, you know,
Called the fella gay.
laughing and joking, and well, you know, you were kind of, I think you were kind of talking about, you know, being unreliable. You know, I am what I am, and
Oh yeah.
there's this veneer of sort of superficial comedy and almost like a bit of clowny going on, but
Like a front.
a front, yeah.
Yeah.
But then when I scratch the surface with people who are, you know, let's say, effective in comedy, you don't have to go very deep, and there's a lot of thought. So this guy who walks and introduces himself as an unreliable clown, read, you know, all the major Abrahamic religious texts when he was a kid.
Well,
Yeah,
it wasn't
and
a kid. It was 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. They've had a few.
So it took a while, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know how to boredom. Do you know what I mean? I don't know in my 20s. But I don't know how to boredom. I'm at the Hobbit age now. But like, I can read. You know what I mean?
No, I just think that maybe people are underestimated. And I think people who want to get into comedy sometimes feel like they'll be perceived, you know, it's self-conscious about what if my employer sees this, or,
Oh God, yeah.
you know.
That's why I'm unemployed, brother.
I took a comedy class, and I told people that I was going to a public speaking class because I didn't want people to look at me like I cared about, and I wanted to go for it.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn, but I also knew that I'd be maybe seen in a negative light. And I think that maybe comedians are.
It's similar to being a stripper, innit?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think it's the two professions comedy is similar to is boxing or prostitution, stripping, sex work.
Yeah.
And that's just for putting our bodies and our thoughts on the line for other people's attention.
Mm.
And that's all we do. We get on stage and we try and be real in the moment. But once it's done, people can take it as they wish. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I've been sacked from multiple jobs.
Because of comedy.
Because of comedy, yeah, man. Or I've been judged within the workplace because they think, oh, he's trying to be a sarky cunt here. You know, and he's trying to be funny. I got sacked. I've been sacked loads of times for telling jokes. I get jobs, I tell them I'm a comedian. They go, oh, so you can bring banter to the workplace. That'll be good. Building customer rapport.
That's kind of what I was alluding to when I talked about making it.
Yeah.
In that you've got to work within certain boundaries and be safe. Otherwise, you are not making it. Because
No,
if you
can't get a job.
Well, you can't potentially go on TV and say the wrong thing because there's all these financial interests around, you know. Like
But I worked for, I can't say it due to the law, but a Merseyside-based railway firm.
Oh yeah,
That gets it round.
there's hundreds of them.
Yeah, there's one. And and it's the Merseyside-based railway firm. And they sacked me. But eventually they sacked me. But initially, I done the job interview and they went, oh, I'm a comedian, you know, like part-time. And they were brilliant. So your job, you'll be customer facing, so you can have banter with the customers. You can have a laugh and a joke. And they'll love it, customer rapport. So that's how I got the job. Was because they thought, oh, he'll be witty, he'll be funny. Couple of weeks into the job, I got an email off the head of HR saying that I needed to take every piece of content of me performing.
I've heard that so many times.
Online. So I had to remove all the clips that I had online performing.
I think you might have sent me one.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah.
Because I allegedly put the company in disrepute. It's a fucking railway fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the fuck's a few jokes gonna do to the fucking track? Fuck off. And then eventually they sacked me fucking 12th week. I've been told it's all right to have banter, just don't post it online. You know what I mean? So I got sacked basically. From the Merseyside-based railway firm because there was a nun, 90-year-old Catholic nun, walking through Central Station. And behind this 90-year-old Catholic nun was a Hindu, proper Hindu, off the tits.
Were they just as nuns?
No,
Okay.
Hindu.
Go on.
So behind the nun was this Hindu, right? And the proper Hindu, they were sucking on, little willy straws, and they were all dressed as buns woman and all that. Fancy dress. Off the tits, come through the station. Swan standing on the barriers, checking tickets. So the nun comes first, and I go to the nun. Hello, love, you're all right, by the way? You have a lovely Hindu. She laughs her head off, giggles. Yeah. This pissed Hindu. You're bladdered. Sorry, don't wait to be loud on your headphones.
It's designed to laugh. I think it'll be all right.
Bladdered. You're fucking bladdered. They walked through. They go, that was fucking disgusting, that. I went, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he walked straight to the manager, complained, formal complaint. I then had to go to a meeting and defend myself because I told a nun. Well, I asked the nun if she was enjoying a Hindu, and there was a Hindu behind me, and the nun didn't even fucking complain.
The nun found it funny.
She found it funny, but you've got to think about all of the customers.
Even the drunk ones.
Yeah. Fucking bellends.
So, cancel culture.
I love it.
People get off on, I think, cancelling people.
Cancelling people, they fucking get a tour off the back of it.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's been cancelled for and hasn't.
It feels like, yeah, I mean, it never used to be that way, though. The first people, like, I think Johnny Depp said he was like the test case for Me Too, right? So.
Yeah.
I think there is, if you say something wrong on Twitter and they know where you work,
yeah,
they'll send something to your family, they'll send something to your employer.
Yeah, but that's because people are weird.
Yeah.
Like online, people are weird. They'll text me and go, no, not me. They'll text someone just having a go with them. Something they posted. Sorry, mate, it was a joke. It was timed wrong. Apologies. But comedians are probably the best people to cancel because we will fucking love it. Because we'll go, I'm cancelled. Yes. Just post online about how you feel, how you've been cancelled. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like that's a newer thing.
I can go on tour. I would love to have the fame.
Well, let's see what we can do for you.
Oh, I've said nothing wrong.
I feel like, no.
You can probably clip it together.
We've got AI now also.
Sabotage, mate.
5 seconds of audio, I can replicate your voice.
Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's it. I've got you now.
Oh, shit.
But I think that's dying down. But there's this, it's this minefield because Bob Villain, right?
I love Bob Villain.
Okay, that's a soundbite.
Yeah.
That'll be the intro to the show.
I love Bob Villain. I haven't said anything wrong.
But he was unknown, relatively unknown in the mainstream.
I've listened to him for a few years.
Well, yeah, I know, but he's been relatively unknown in the mainstream.
Yeah.
So he chants death to the IDF.
Yeah.
And everyone loses their shit.
But he only done that because they cancelled Kneecap, who were cool. There are loads of Irish people going, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they're both, from the mainstream point of view, then cancelled. But they're also probably doing better numbers now than they've ever done.
Of course they are, because the mainstream have posted about it. If you want to cancel somebody, the best way to cancel somebody is by shutting the fuck up. Because all you're doing is posting their name within your echo chamber, which will then allow someone else to Google them, which then gives them more hit, which then means you might actually enjoy the shit they're saying.
What about cancelling comedians without the publicity? So I think there's been a few cases. I can't say exactly who, I can't remember. But there's been you talked about sort of non-mainstream touring comedians.
Industry sniping.
Yeah. So it's possible for you to just get your 300 quid a night bread and butter performing, at normal corporates or whatever, and you get blacklisted without mainstream outrage. So
that happened.
Well, there's a danger then, right?
Well, I think that's vile because obviously it kills somebody's income. But the reason behind the cancelling, there's got to be context. So the first few instances of it happening, it has to be within. The reasons behind it are often due to sexual assault or racism, vector. Somebody at some point has done something wrong.
Yeah.
Therefore, they should not be allowed to perform on the circuit.
Mm.
However, they're extreme examples, but there's people who've been cancelled for less stuff. But I just think the method of doing it is wrong because, say somebody's innocent.
Mm.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody believes the victim. Rightly so.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with believing the victim, but the thing is, people can claim to be a victim with vindictive intent.
So there was a lot of accusations in Me Too that maybe some people were jumping on board that and maybe didn't have the best intentions.
Blown out of proportion, all of that stuff, yeah. But at the end of the day, if somebody goes, you did this, it's your job.
Mm. Are you aware of anybody at that mid-level who's been sort of bounced out and didn't deserve it, or you felt like it was unfair? Without naming names, you can just say,
No.
So you think it's a pretty good selection process?
The majority of people who've been kicked out the circuit have done something.
Mm.
I can name names who you want to cancel it.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Because obviously I'd rather bits not be uploaded if I'm
You can tell me, I will do whatever you want in terms of.
But I make
Yeah, I know.
So he battered a woman.
Mm.
Women should not have to be in the same room as him.
Mm.
And that was the issue.
Yeah.
He battered a woman to the point that she broke her orbital bone. That is the second hardest part of your body.
Mm.
He was a child when he did that.
Yeah.
There's context. He done his time, served his punishment, so why can't he live a normal life? People in a performance setting should not have to sit there with the knowledge that he's attacked women. Needs to be a safe space.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
There's a reason behind it is harsh, but in that instance, it was right. Because
it's difficult. Well, yeah, I agree. If somebody stabs someone or if they rape someone, they will get a certain number of years, and then they'll be rehabilitated. Maybe then performing is a privilege, and because it's a privilege, you can be permanently have that privilege taken away. Is that?
it's just because you're in a room with other people.
And they get to decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if I want to sit in a room with
Mm.
I can phone them up now. But if I phone somebody
Mm.
who's done something,
Yeah.
it's my choice to go to the pub with them.
Mm.
But if you are in a green room, it's a professional setting. And it's a professional setting where you don't choose who your colleagues are.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? There's a random independent vendor who then brings 3 people, puts them in a room together. If you are not comfortable with one person, I can throw you off and ruin your day. Do you know what I mean? Just creates an awkward environment. Not even to protect individuals, really. It's just to stop the night being a bit shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's about it. The majority of people who have been cancelled through the circuit have done something.
Mm.
And if it's not that bad, they get welcomed back.
So people do get rehabilitated.
It's just a meritocracy.
Mm. So what about Louis C.K., for example? So I've always throughout my whole life thought, well, who in the moment is the best comedian in the world? And I used to think Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. I loved Eddie Murphy growing up, you know. Gervais is a name that, you know, I love. I just love my street, you know.
So the CK thing where he wanked into a bush?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but then there's Carlin. Carlin did not hold back at all, but he there's a big difference. So Louis C.K., I think, was almost like, you know, Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung.
Yeah.
Well, Carlin was Sigmund Freud and CK was Carl Jung. And just like that relationship wasn't perfect because Carl, had some thoughts that Sigmund didn't really, and his group didn't appreciate. I think, Louis CK was crying at Carlin's funeral, his friend. And then, fast forward a couple of years, I think what he was doing was he was leveraging his power, his celebrity. You meet young comedians, and it's kind of exactly what you said. Going back to his hotel room, and then he'd close the door. He'd be stood between them and the door. This is how I understand it. I could be wrong, allegedly. He'd then say, would it be all right if I get my dick out? And then what would you say to that? Well, as a young female comic, I definitely think there was a feeling that if you piss off somebody in power in that industry, you are fucked in terms of
Not exactly. So if you're using the power dynamic, it makes it a more... If she says, yeah, get your cock out, with enthusiasm.
It's all about the enthusiasm.
No, because if she's enthusiastic and really wants to say Louis C.K.
Somebody stunned into silence and eventually...
There's a difference between, yes, I want to see your cock, or, yeah. You kind of... There's a way of saying it. And if... To me, you're well within your rights to shoot a shot, yeah. But also, you can read a fucking room, can't you?
Well, if you're a comedian with 40 years experience, I would hope you can read a room.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? If you can read someone's uncomfortable. Obviously, we weren't in that bit, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Well, I said allegedly, I don't know what's going on. I loved Louis C.K. I look for something visceral in comedians, like authentic, and just that's what I loved about Carlin. He just didn't give a fuck, and he gave less of a fuck as he got older.
You're better and better.
I saw Louis C.K. on that same trajectory. Now, as much as I loved Louis C.K., I can't think of anything worse than Louis C.K. stood between me and a door asking if he can jerk off in front of me,
But also, as a man, you could probably physically move the cunt. You know what I mean? If you're a young girl, who's probably, if you're in comedy, idolizing, and he's going, can I do this? And you're like,
Well, you talked about rehabilitation. What's the level where there's no rehabilitation? I mean, I know he's doing massive tours now, Louis C.K. Of course he is, because that's what you said. You get cancelled, people can feel like that has been taken away from them.
When there's no grey area, that's when you can't be rehabilitated. When it's damn.
So if they press charges against him, he would have probably, I don't know, he might have got some years in prison. And he'd get out. This is kind of what I talked about in privilege,
It's a different law system in America. You just pay your way out. And if people want to see it, but he's told civil court in it, I think, allegedly.
Just while we're going down this road, do you remember the guy from Seinfeld who was on stage?
Oh yeah, he said the N-word.
We didn't just say the N-word.
Well, he acts on.
Basically, he was getting heckled and he didn't like it. He couldn't handle it. And this to me looks like a very nervous man. He looks like he's on edge a lot of the time. A lot of his act is like, stuttering thing. So someone was heckling him. I think they didn't appreciate his act. And it looked to me like he had an episode. Not just a fair at all, but he started repeatedly screaming that his family, I think he was, or a group of friends. And it got to a point where, Jerry Seinfeld's on Letterman, and with this guy's not even turned up, he's just on video link on a TV, like a little TV. And, I don't think he ever really got rehabilitated. And I think I guess
people also have to want to watch it. Like, it's not rehabilitation, like, it's not prison. Like, people have to want to watch you do.
It was maybe a bit, I've not seen his material, but maybe he was a shit stand-up. And he was getting heckled. And
he wasn't like as big as, it's not like Seinfeld, is it? It was a side character from...
Well, Jerry Seinfeld is a really, not a safe comedian, but he has no swearing, no nothing,
His jokes are perfect.
Yeah, because, him and, have you seen Ellen's stand-up?
Not a fan.
I liked it.
I liked the earlier stuff, didn't like any of her specials.
When she was going through some stuff younger. She went through a lot coming up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure what I think what I'm trying to get to the bottom of is, in my head, I still think that Louis C.K. may be one of the best, or on his way to become one of the best comedians in the world. He's selling out stadiums, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Or big gigs. He'll probably never be rehabilitated into the mainstream. I think he lost like 50 million quid because he had a film coming out around the time it all broke. And it just tanked him. So he paid a price, but there's no way back to the mainstream, and maybe there shouldn't be, because it isn't just, you don't get it by default because people want to see it.
But it's not, the mainstream isn't the be all and fucking end all. The mainstream's dead. In the UK, the mainstream.
Well, I think Mr. Beast is mainstream.
Yeah,
The YouTube.
he was an independent guy who done it himself. Now the avenues to success are different.
But he's still a mainstream.
Yeah, but that's because he's fought tooth and nail to get into the mainstream as an independent artist. He's not backed by...
Yeah, but I guess if you're a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber or a TikToker, you're well known, and then you're mainstream. That's kind of, you corporations will want to pay you to say and do things.
Yeah, but that's with sponsorship.
Yeah. So I don't think the mainstream's dead.
That's slightly...
What did you mean when you said the mainstream?
It's slightly different from what I meant it from a stand-up perspective. So like, if you do live the Apollo and you're on the BBC is not going to fucking make you. He'll do a bit, but you're not going to sell out an arena after a live the Apollo gig anymore. That died around 2013, 14. Like, before I started, I don't know anyone since I started who's went on to arenas outside of people who've done well in their own right, online with their own following, or even sharing old clips from live the Apollo. But it's stuff from years ago. It's doing better. The mainstream, I think, of television, and I think the internet is more of an independent venture. And I just think, like, the Paul Schmidt, even Dan Nightingale, he was one of those circuit comedians who went round, you know what I mean? He don't have a word at Adam Hughes, now he sells out tours. There's people who do tours off the back of Live the Apollo. Dan Tiernan, recently he's done a tour, but he was also nominated for an Edinburgh Award, or won it, or something.
Well, I think Netflix and Amazon have thrown money at acts that we've met or know for a special.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's all shifting, but
Netflix won't hire you unless you've got a certain amount of views on a free YouTube special anyway. So you've got to build it yourself, then you do your second one on Netflix and any platform, Have
you thought about doing that? Doing your own little...
Can't be arsed.
Okay.
It's a lot of work. I can't afford to camera, lads. To be honest, I'm dead skint.
I remember it might have been a week or two ago, you put out a little post, because you had a good opportunity that you were enjoying, I think, and it kind of came to an end.
Oh, yeah.
And it felt to me like there was a bit of introspection. Like, you'd had a good think about life, and I don't know if you feel like you turned a corner, or you maybe a little bit more maturity kicked in. I think that in life we go through difficult stuff. Knockbacks, because it makes us look like a broken bone. It makes you stronger when it heals you. So you had a knockback, and it was one of the more sort of serious things I've ever seen you post. So what happened around that?
Do you mean when I lost hot water?
Yeah.
So when basically with that, I got given a good opportunity. I was given a quick comedy for a bit after a breakup. My head was up my arse. And then I was like, I need to get back out there. I'm good at this. I wanted to do it. So I've been promoting gigs for 10 years alongside being a performer. So I messaged loads of local venues and small venues up to Hot Water. Hot Water said, yeah, they greenlit me for a trial. So, and initially, I don't feel that they thought it'd do well. But it did. I sold 176 tickets. Like, and I don't have an Instagram following. I'm not like a social media guy. I barely post TikTok reels or Instagram reels. So
as a comedy professional, I was probably the peak of where you got to at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the peak. And I sold those tickets from people who've seen me over the years. So in that 176, it was like me mate Derek, his wife or fiance, who I haven't seen in years. There was like my family were there. there was a ton of people, and I charged £7 a ticket. And that was because, well, two reasons really. I was competing on the Hot Water with Hot Water's own shows at Hot Water's venue, ticket sales. So I priced it £3 cheaper than their cheapest show.
Yeah.
And that was to do that. And then the day after I'd done it, sold 176 tickets, got a message from them saying, essentially, we probably need to up your ticket price because you sold quite well. And I was like, no, it's not because they weren't mean rude, or anything. They were just like, you've done fairly well. So we need to like up the price. Because you're taking some of our sales.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that won't really happen again because it was I knew the majority of the people there. And then my second one sold over 120. So it rolled. And I was enjoying it, but became financially dependent on the money. And I'm very grateful to Hot Water for giving me the opportunity. But because I was stressed about it, I'd drink then. And when I drink, I tend to get very paranoid about, my position, what I'm doing, why are people looking at me. And I think like there's this like ghost behind me head, like trying to sabotage me. And I'm upsetting that there's no people at all that sabotage me. And in any venue that I've worked for, it's just a habit that I've got. Like I'll be really happy with something and something will be going well. And eventually, because I'm paranoid about losing it, I'll just sort of blow everything up. I'll do something to ruin what I've got.
Self-sabotage.
Exactly. So it's like a self-sabotage. So when it ended, it ended basically because Hot Water have times that are independent business. They're a very big independent business, but it's just run by two brothers, Paul and Binty, lovely people. And like Binty's put me up when I was homeless. Paul gave me this opportunity, do you know what I mean? Like, they've been really good to me over the years. And I pretty much spat in their faces. That's pretty much what happened. Like, I was on stage, and because their shows end at 10, I used to overrun, so my show would go on over and like 45 minutes later. They've still got to pay all their staff for the hour that they're waiting for me to finish. And that's just rude, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for the last show, they did go to me. They went, the show has to end at 10.
Yeah.
And I think if it ended at 10, the show would have continued, but it didn't. It ended at 10:30, 11:15.
Lack of discipline on your...
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it was a lack of discipline, but also I was on stage and I thought it was funny. I was saying, fuck Hot Water, fuck this, fuck that, you know what I mean? And I was trying to be edgy and cool, but at the end of the day, I was in my mate's business.
It's not something you meant. You were just trying to get a reaction.
And it got a reaction, a laugh, people enjoyed it, but it doesn't mean that it was right to do. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm sitting there slagging off your business in your place of work, you're not going to employ me, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that it has to end like a friendship, but you're not going to want me to represent.
So to me, you sound like an older brother giving a pretty firm appraisal as what his little shit of a brother's just done. So even though this is all relatively recent, it does sound like it's been transformative to a degree, because there's a lot of realization in what you just said, and a lot of introspection and self-awareness that you probably didn't have 8 months ago.
So, but that's because I'm happier now. Like in life, I'm happier now. Like if I make mistakes now, I'm in a relationship where I'm comfortable to go, oh, I fucked up,
So can you be a good comedian if you're happy? Is that...
Well, of course.
Well, a lot of really well-respected comedians are not. They don't seem over there.
We all suffer with our mental health. Like being happy doesn't necessarily mean that it's all the time. Like there's a level of contentment in my life. There's a level of structure now where I've actually got time to be a better person. Do you know what I mean? I'm in a relationship where I'm not getting judged. I'm not getting, forced into things that I don't want to do. I'm happy, content. So I've got the space where I can actually reconcile and reflect within me.
You've had these experiences. You've got this new support system. it sounds like you've already achieved some good stuff and you've got the tools now maybe to do something at a higher level and come through. So
Exactly.
if somebody was to give you a similar opportunity again, what would go different now?
I probably think it'd go exactly the same.
I think you should say the opposite of what you just said.
So at the end of the day,
I don't agree with you for a start.
I probably should, but I've clearly got self-esteem issues, and within that, I feel like I will self-sabotage eventually. It might last longer. Like the period of success might be 3 years, but I think eventually, just because I know myself and I know my behaviours and how I react to certain things, I think eventually something will happen where I lose it all and start again. But that's just a reflection of my life thus far.
That makes me feel like, you know, if I operated one of these venues, I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Because I have the space now to be better and do better. But at the end of the day, I've lost probably what I was chasing by staying in Liverpool and gigging in all these shitholes anyway. So I don't, would I think I'd do it again? Maybe not in the same way, but now I feel I'd be more able to handle it professionally and handle criticism better
Yeah.
than I would have recently. But it's one of those things, you know, where I go, I'm me. And I can grow with time. But I wouldn't say it's because I'm fucking young that I make mistakes. It's because I need to fucking figure it out in my head, what I'm doing wrong.
What's gone on with mental health through your life?
Oh, here we go. Not much.
Was something.
Well, I don't feel depressed ever. I feel fairly happy and content. I just go by my day. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not a very motivated young man. I'm very selfish with my decision making. I do pretty much what I want when I want.
Adam and Pete kept talking for another 30 minutes, not knowing that the recording had stopped. This was our first episode, and technical issues were almost expected. We hope you enjoyed this first attempt. You can learn more about Adam's work by visiting Adam Hughes Comedy on Instagram. Thanks for watching.